Alrighty guys, welcome.
Welcome.
Here we are today talking about stress and how that impacts you. So today we're going to talk about how we can manage stress, looking at our internal and external stressors and how they play a role on your hormone release and how those hormones can play a big role into how hungry you are, what you're craving, how well you recover, and even your emotions. So today's objective, we're going to better manage our stress and we're going to get you guys feeling better.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Adam, how would you define stress?
We define stress by it's a body's non-specific response to any demanded change. We define that with two different types of stressors: an internal stress, which is coming from the body or your mind.
So is that like negative self-talk?
Yeah, exactly that. It's attitudes, it's the whole thing.
Okay, awesome.
To mention. The other one is your external stressors. So things that get put upon you.
So like training?
Yep, training would be a big one. Your environment would be another one. Family and kids could be another one. But yeah, those all play a big role.
Adam, did you know that there's two kinds of stressors?
No, I didn't.
Well, there is acute stress and chronic stress.
Okay.
So acute stress is kind of the most common that we're used to.
Okay.
This is kind of like traffic jams, maybe an argument with your spouse, and then chronic stress is more for a prolonged period of time. So this is more of like death of a loved one or a loss of a job.
Okay.
Stress is your body's way of responding to any kind of demand or threat. The fight or flight response refers to a psychological reaction that occurs in the presence of something that is terrifying, either mentally or physically. The response is triggered by the release of hormones that prepare your body to either stay and deal with the threat or run away to safety. The stress response is the body's way of protecting you. When working properly, it helps you stay focused, energetic, and alert. In emergency situations, stress can even save your life, giving you that extra strength to defend yourself, like moving a car off of somebody in a life-threatening situation.
This is the result in an increase of heart rate, blood pressure, breathing rate, slowing digestion down, and also just increasing the blood flow to certain muscles. Why that plays a big role into this is because it'll actually increase your metabolism and how much energy your body actually needs. So if you're high stress, you typically need to eat more food to keep up with all these metabolic changes.
Here are some signs and symptoms of stress. The most dangerous thing about stress is how easily it can creep up on you. You get used to it, it starts to feel familiar, even normal. You don't even notice how much it is affecting you. This is why it is important to be aware of the warning signs and symptoms of stress overload. So Adam, why does this all matter?
Great question, Paige. It matters because stress plays a huge role in impacting our body's primary functions. We're going to talk about a few of them today, but there's a lot more that they impact. The big ones are going to be your thyroid function, so your body's ability to use energy and create it. So the more stress you have, typically, the more calories you're going to burn, the more energy you're going to produce because of those breathing rates and those types of things. The next is going to be your gut. The higher stress you have, the higher chance you have of developing ulcers, as well as food sensitivities, allergies, and even how well your body absorbs nutrients. The next one's going to be your immune system. The higher stress you have, again, the more at risk you are of getting sick or ill. And the last one, muscular health. The higher stress you are, again, the less chance you can keep muscle on, as well as you can also develop weak bones and also a risk of osteoporosis. Yeah. Alrighty guys, now that we know how stress impacts you, we're going to talk about how to prevent stress as well as manage it the best that you can. So Paige, what are your favorite ways of doing that?
If you can believe it or not, no caffeine.
What?
I know. It's made a huge difference for me though. You see, caffeine is basically a huge flood of stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and that's why you feel awake when you have it. But then eventually you crash, want more, and now you're on a hormone stress roller coaster. This habit is super hard on your adrenals, which produce hormones that help regulate your metabolism, immune system, blood pressure, response to stress, and other essential functions. So when you're hurting your adrenal health, that is a no bueno on your hormones and your overall health.
Okay.
So Adam, do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, so biggest one is just get moving, get grooving, get exercising. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, you don't have to be throwing weights around. Like you just to start by walking 15 to 30 minutes a day. It's gonna help you relax, decompress, things to stay away from for that though, too much of a good thing, right? We don't want you going over an hour of cardio. That can be an additional stressor to the body. Paige, do you have any more tips for us?
Yeah, definitely prioritizing self-care. So build self-care into your days and make this a non-negotiable. So some of the things that I like to do for my self-care is journaling, going on walks, even snuggling with my pets, talking to somebody that I care about, going to therapy, doing a mini at-home spa, like using a face mask, reading a book for fun, and shutting off my phone for a while to just kind of relax.
Awesome. Love it.
Adam, do you have any more tips for us?
Yeah. A big one is, eating healthy, eating the right things. One of the biggest things is avoiding the foods that inflame your stomach and GI tract, right? Because we're trying to eliminate that stress. And if you're eating all the worst things for you, you're just gonna flare up. So what that means is avoiding processed foods, avoiding fast food. And if you really don't know what you're sensitive to, two biggest things to try would be an elimination diet and figure out what's hurting you in the long run. And the easiest one is just doing a food sensitivity test or panel. That's just a blood draw, and they figure out from there what your sensitivities are. The next biggest one is eating a balanced meal, making sure you have plenty of fruits, high quality protein, complex carbohydrates consistently throughout the whole day, because that's going to impact your insulin levels as well as your blood sugar. And the lower the blood sugar drops, well, the more or the higher odds you make bad choices. So we want to make sure you're making great choices throughout the day. The next one is going to be make sure you have plenty of healthy fats in your diet. That doesn't mean you only eat avocados. That's not the only healthy fat in the world. You can eat fish, you can eat nuts. There's a lot of other ways to get it in there. Coconut, another great one. But make sure you, again, eat those regularly. And it's going to increase your blood sugar, metabolism, all those things. All right, Paige, any last minute tips, tricks that you want to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just learning to relax. I know we can't eliminate stress completely, but we can control how much it affects you. So kind of some things that I like to do to help relax is do things like yoga, meditation, deep breathing exercises. This just kind of really increases your ability to calm down and really get collected under that pressure.
Awesome.
So Adam, any last minute tips?
Yeah, actually the most important one of all, getting enough sleep, getting enough rest. Ideally, we like to see you guys shoot for somewhere between 7 to 9 hours, but it's not just about getting the hours, it's about getting quality sleep. And so we've attached a document to help you guys get better sleep. My personal favorite is just staying away from blue lights and also cutting out caffeine after noon. It's gonna help you just get better sleep patterns. All right, guys, that is all we have for you for tips and tricks today. Our challenge to you this week is setting a bedtime routine. Let us know in the chat what you did and if it's helped in any capacity. Please share your results with your friends. We'd love to hear if you guys do anything extra as well. All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you guys
Have a great week.
next week.
Bye.